Hello, how are you today? Today's lesson are going to talk about the higher faculties. Are you using your higher faculties? Most of the time we are living in the senses. The senses means the smell, taste, see, touch. These are outer senses, five senses. How we can see and smell and taste and touch and hear. And these are the outer senses. Most of the time we are living in the senses. Only if we know we have higher faculties. So using your higher faculties, we can create anything, we can do anything, you can have anything. But only if we are aware of we have higher faculties. Most of the time, every time whatever we are creating, we are using our higher faculties. But only if you are aware of them, we can use more often rather than staying in the outer senses. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. The higher faculties. Are you using your higher faculties? If not, then today you're going to learn about them, and then you can start using your higher faculties. And so let me introduce myself first, and then I will start talking about the higher faculties. My name is Anita Bansal, and I'm consultant of thinking into result. My mentor is Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher, and I was looking for my purpose. It took me many years to find my purpose. I'd done so many courses and study, and finally I have found my purpose. I am living on my purpose, and this is what I'm going to do in the future. This is what I'm doing, and I love what I'm doing, working with the universal laws and your own mind. As you know by now, everything works with your own mind and the universal laws. So everything works according to universal laws and your mind. We work together. We use universal laws and the mind together. So we have to know our own mind. We have to know the universal laws. Even though sometimes we know them, but we still have to practice it every day. If we don't practice it, mind can go on other side of where we don't want to. So it's a practice, it's a persistent, it's taking the action every day to make your mindset work on what you want rather than what you don't want. So today I'm going to talk about, this is what I learned from my mentor Bob Proctor. There is a higher faculties. The higher faculties we create, and we can do or have anything using these high faculties. Most of the time what happens, we are living the outer senses. Outer senses means we have senses, and then these senses we are using them all the time, like hear, see, smell, taste, touch. These are five senses. But most of the time, whatever the circumstances or whatever is happening around us, we start to believe it. We start to think, this is what is it, and how I can change if something you want to change. Because whatever is happening around, whatever the circumstances are happening around, outside our environment or in the environment, the environment we're living, or whatever is happening, we start to believe that, and I cannot change the circumstances. But only if we know we have higher faculties, we can do that. But this is excuse me, but this is a practice. You can't just say I know my higher faculties, but using them higher faculties, then it's gonna make the difference. If you're not gonna use them, just knowing them is nothing going to happen. So let me talk about a little bit about the higher faculties. There is a 6 higher faculties. I don't know if you know them. Most of the people, they're not aware of it. 98% people are not aware of it. Only 1% people are aware of it, because this is not taught in the university. This is not taught in the schools or colleges. So even in the houses. So you might know them, you might not know them, but if you don't know them, so there is a 5-6 higher faculties, and we are creating all the time and using these high faculties, but we are not aware of them. Once we are aware of them, we can use them more often as our free tools. We have given these, and when we are born with it, we are born with it, with these high faculties, and we have given them as a free. But we have to know how to use these higher faculties. If we don't know how to use these higher faculties, and how can we do, have, or create anything? But once we know them, and then we can use them more often. And it's a practice every day. You have to be persistent. You have to take the action every day using these tools. And these tools are, there's a 6 higher faculties, and they have given with us conscious mind, and then we have the senses, and then we have higher faculties. It's just living from inside out, not from outside in. Most of the time we're living from outside in, like the senses, we are living with them. We think this is the reality. Of course, this is a physical world, we have to use them, and we experience with the physical whatever we are seeing, but only if we know we have higher faculties, and we can create or do have anything using these higher faculties. So let's talk about a little bit about higher faculties, what they are, and how to use them. And I'm going to start with will. And will, imagination, the reason, the memory, the intuition, and what else? There is a 6. Memory, intuition, the imagination, and perception. Yeah, so there are 6 of them. Hopefully I said 6 of them: the will, the imagination, the reason, the memory, and the intuition, and the perception. So hopefully you are using these high faculties. If not, the will is a focus. So where we see what our we are thinking about, whatever we are thinking about, that is, we are using a will. If we can use more often will on one place, and then putting our all the focus there. So to create anything, we have to focus. So the imagination, be thinking in the images. If we can use our imagination as in the image of ourselves, whatever we're trying to do, have, or create, but we have to use that in images, how you want to see the things. And the perception, even the perception is something's not going right the way we want, and we can change the perception, the way we want to see the things. If we don't like something, we can change our how we want to see that whatever we see. And then imagination. So as I said, you have to use your image of yourself, whatever you're trying to create. And the intuition is you're reading the vibration, so that you have to develop it using your going inward, and knowing you have the vibration. We are vibrating all the time, and then you can read your other people's vibration as the frequency, level of frequency as a vibration. And then reason is something you have to think about, something you wants to, whatever you wants to create or do, you have to have something to think about. And then memory, and we have a really good memory if we can develop it, and we can really sharpen our memory. So these are 6 higher faculties. If you can use them, and going inward, not just from outside, just you have to relax yourself, you have to focus on what you want, and then you have to change the perception even the situation is not good. And you can see your perception as the way you would like to see, and if you would focus on that and using your imagination, image of yourself. And this is how we create things, this is how we manifest things, this is what we are creating already, we are creating it. What going inward, going toward yourself, and using these high faculties, then this is the way to use them. So hopefully you're going to use your high faculties, and everybody have given these high faculties as a free, and hopefully you're going to start using them. and hopefully you're not going to live with all the outer senses. Most of the time we're living the outer senses, and then we think, oh, the circumstances are not changing, and how can I do things, or how can I have things, something you want. But now you know you have higher faculties, and you can use them as your free tools you have given, and then you can start creating whatever you're trying to do, have, or create. So hopefully this lesson going to help you. It's helping me. I use my will and perception and imagination and around my goals, and hopefully you're going to do that also. And if you like the YouTube, please give thumbs up, and thank you for letting me share the lesson today. So this lesson is coming direct from my mentor Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher, and this is what I learned from them, and this is what I share with you. So from now on, hopefully you're going to start using your high faculties, and then you can create as your goals. So thank you for letting me share the information with you, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.